So in last class, I have given you this homework, and this is the same problem, but the calculation will be a little bit different. This is sigma, and this is some inertial frame, and there is a particle, and let's say this particle is A, which is moving with speed VA in I cap direction, and there is another particle which is B and moving in J cap with VB speed. So now this time we have to calculate what will be velocity of B with respect to A. So obviously we have to calculate velocity of A with respect to B. We have calculated already that velocity of B with respect to it. Now we will calculate velocity of A with respect to B. And for that, we have to again write all this information, that velocity of A with respect to sigma is VA in I cap direction, and velocity of B with respect to sigma is VB in J cap direction. And obviously, we have to calculate velocity of A with respect to B. So I can say this is my S frame, and this will be my S dash frame. So obviously, we have just give the notation that B is equivalent to S frame. A is something like particle. Sorry, this will be my particle. A is equivalent to particle, and obviously this sigma is equivalent to S dash. Okay, and now we can write this thing in another way also, and this can be written as velocity of sigma with respect to A is minus VA. We will keep minus sign, something like this, in I cap direction, and velocity of sigma with respect to B is minus VB in J cap direction. So obviously B is my S frame, sigma is my S dash frame, and I am more worried about this thing. We have to calculate what is velocity of S dash with respect to S, and this time this is in J cap direction. So this is very important. So we have velocity of S dash with respect to S is actually velocity of sigma with respect to B is nothing, identified as V, and this will be minus VB in J cap direction. So from here, we can identify which Lorentz transformation we are going to use. This is the thing where you can just say that X Lorentz transformation or Y Lorentz transformation can be useful for your problem. But in this problem, we can easily say that we have Lorentz transformation in Y direction. And another part is very simple. We have to just talk about velocity of particle with respect to S dash. So yes, this is particle and this is S dash. So this is useful and this is useful. So we have velocity of particle with respect to S dash, that will be actually ux dash, and this is, yes, this is in I cap direction, so I can write this thing as ux dash, and this will be VA, and ui dash is nothing but 0, uj dash is nothing but 0. So now we have to go for a simple relative speed formula. And what is this relative speed formula? Ux is equal to ux dash, sorry, we have to go for the y relative speed formula. So you have ux is equal to ux dash root under 1 minus v square upon c square, and here we have 1 plus ui dash v upon c square, isn't it? This is our ux, because this is in j cap direction, v is in j cap direction, so Lorentz transformation will be in j cap direction. Okay, so this is very important. This particular term is most significant term. This will just give you hint that in which direction you can do Lorentz transformation. Okay, and now we can put ux dash here, and this will be your VA, and root under 1 minus VB square is nothing but VB square upon C square. And similarly, we can get UI. And what is my UI? I can use this space. UI is equal to UI dash plus V 1 plus UI dash V upon C square. So what we can do, we can put this value, UI dash is 0, V is nothing but minus V. So this will be minus VB in J cap direction. And we can also calculate UZ, and this value is equal to 0. So we can write in a vector form, this thing as a vector form. So my answer will be velocity of A with respect to B, it's something like, we have X component, this one is my X component. So this will be VA root under 1 minus VB square upon C square I cap direction. And this will be my J cap component. So this is with the negative VB J cap direction, isn't it? So most of the people have done it correctly. You have posted this thing. So most of the people have done it correctly. And if you have some confusion, you can raise your question. Okay. Is that clear from my side? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So Mehak, are you able to understand this thing? Because I think you were absent in the last class, isn't it? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So
sir.
are you able to get this thing?
Yes. sir.
Okay, good. If you have any doubt, then you can raise the question. Okay. Or otherwise, you can see my video lectures of the last class. Okay. Then again, you can ask.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let's go for some more problem. Okay. And this time, these problems I have collected from the different examination. Most of them are coming either JEST or TIFR or some NET or GET. I don't remember, but these are good problems. And these are actually application of our relative speed. So let's go for first problem. This is very nice. Okay, we have, let's say this is our Earth. So I will keep it E as Earth. So this is Earth. And with respect to Earth, there is a glass plate. And this glass plate is moving with velocity Vg. So this glass plate is moving with velocity Vg in I cap direction. For the convenience, I can take this is my I cap direction. Obviously, this is my J cap direction. What will happen? The light pulse entered into the glass plate. So this is light pulse, which is entered into glass plate. And what we have to do, we have to calculate the velocity of light pulse with respect to glass plate. What will be this? The velocity of light pulse with respect to Earth, what will be this value? And it is also given the refractive index of glass plate is some n. So refractive index of glass plate is n. So we have to calculate this thing. Okay. So how we will proceed it? In the first problem, this is very simple one, nothing to do with the STR. We have to just use, if we will attach to the glass plate, then glass plate will be rest. And this light pulse will appear to move with what velocity? Not with the velocity c. Rather, it has some velocity which is less than c, and this refractive index will take place. It will be that accounted. So what will be the speed of glass plate? Sorry, speed of light in the glass plate? C by n. Okay, so when you are measuring this particular thing C by n, that is assumption that glass plate is rest with respect to you. If you are taking this assumption, then only you can say that from first question, that velocity of light with the glass plate. So velocity of light with the glass plate is nothing but c by n. So this is your velocity of light with glass plate. But we have to calculate, this is very trivial. We all know that from the optics, we know that whenever light is going into any glass plate, the speed of light will be reduced. I am not going into all the detail of that, but we are just using this fact. Now, let's try to calculate what will be velocity of light with respect to Earth. And I assume that Vg is very high velocity. That means it has velocity approaching to the speed of light. It can be written in some alpha into speed of light, where alpha is between 0 to 1. So, obviously, we have to use all this, our concept of relative speed. Now, look at here. What I can do, I can take this Earth as my S frame. I can take this light as my particle. And obviously, what will be my glass plate? My glass plate will be something like S dash. And this will be something like particle. Isn't it? So everything is there. And we have velocity of glass plate with respect to Earth, and this is Vg. So if Earth is my S frame, glass is my S dash frame, this is my V, isn't it? This is my V. So we have velocity of S dash with respect to S, that will be V, and that is equal to Vg, and this is going in I cap direction. So I have used this information. What should be the second information? I have to use this one, isn't it? Because next thing we have to calculate velocity of particle with respect to S dash. And yes, this is nothing but Ux dash, because I assuming that this light pulse is coming into X direction itself. So velocity of particle, or you can say this is nothing but the light with respect to glass plate. And this is nothing. Velocity of light with respect to glass plate is something this. This is Ux dash. And this is nothing but C by N. And now we have to calculate velocity of light with respect to Earth. That means velocity of particle with respect to S. And this will be nothing but Ux. So I have just reorganized all my data, and I have keep all data in my general notation. What is my general notation? V, Ux dash, and Ux. These are my general notation, and we can easily use this thing. So my formula is Ux is equal to Ux dash plus V, 1 plus Ux dash V upon C square. And you can put this problem, Ux dash is nothing but C by N. So this will be nothing but C by N, plus V is nothing but Vg. And I have 1 plus C by N Vg upon C square. So this is your velocity of light with respect to Earth. And now you can verify your answer. How you can verify your answer? Suppose this glass plate, in spite of this glass plate, if this light will move in a vacuum, then what will be value of N?
1.
1. The value of N is 1 because vacuum has a refractive index 1. So if you will put value of N is equal to 1, then suppose I am just putting value of N is equal to 1, then we have Ux is equal to C plus Vg. And here you can take N is equal to 1, 1C cancel. You have C plus Vg into C, and you can see this particular value is C. So what is postulates? The postulates is all about the speed of light is invariant in an inertial frame, and that should be vacuum. That should be vacuum. Okay. Then only speed of light will be remain invariant. So always I am saying to you that this number is very important. This C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. This number is very important. And look at here, this this is just a same light. But what will happen? This number is going to change, isn't it? You can take this n is something 1.5. So this number is 3 into 10 to the power 8 by 1.5. So this number is going to change, isn't it? This will be something like 2 into 10 to the power 8, and which is less than the speed of light, isn't it? Which is less than the speed of light. So when it is less than the speed of light, you can see the observer which is attached to Earth will see entirely different speed, and you can easily calculate this thing for n is equal to 1.5, isn't it? And you can put Vg is equal to some 8c. Just put it Vg is equal to some 8c. Just put it n is equal to some 1.5, and you will see the speed of light is going to change. So very important thing is that number. That number is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. This is going to remain invariant. And yes, physically this number is nothing but speed of light in a vacuum. So you have to always keep in mind that if somehow you are reducing the speed of light in some process, and if you are doing that this special theory of relativity concept, then you have a different speed of that particular light, which is less than actually c, will change. So this is very important stuff, isn't it? So we have to always keep in mind the basic theory. The theory is all about how we are playing with this number, and this number is 3 into 10 to the power 8. Okay. And if anybody will ask you what is 3 into 10 to the power 8, you cannot say this is the speed of light. You have to say this is the speed of light in a vacuum. This is the complete statement. And we can say that the speed of light in a vacuum will remain invariant if it is measured from any inertial frame. So this is very interesting, and you have to always keep in mind. Okay. So today we will play with different story of lights, Hannah. So are you people comfortable up to this? If you have any doubt, you can raise that doubt. Everyone is comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let's go for next problem. Okay. Okay, great. So let's go for next story. And this story is also related to light. So, and we have one frame, and this is inertial frame. Let's say this frame is A. And the light pulse is emerging from the origin of A with some angle theta naught. And we assume that light pulse will remain in XY plane. So let's say this is X and this is Y. We are not taking the concept that light is moving in all this 3 dimension. We can just confine that light pulse is moving in XY plane. This is our assumption. And this A frame is moving with respect to some frame B, which is also inertial. And the speed of A with respect to B is, let's say, V, and in I cap direction. Let's say it is moving in I cap direction. Okay. So this is all story. So what will happen if observer will attach to A? He will see that angle will be theta naught. This angle is theta naught. But if observer will attach to frame B, and if he want to see this angle, he will see this angle is not actually theta naught. Actually, this angle is going to change. And let's calculate that particular angle. Okay, and this question is from TFR examination. They have asked in the examination, if the observer attached to B see this angle theta, then find the value of cos theta. Then what is value of cos theta? But we will just explore all this story. What is going to happen? So obviously we have to assume that this is my S frame. I can say this is my S frame. What is V? If I want to define V, then I can say V is nothing but the velocity of A with respect to B. So V is nothing but the velocity of A with respect to S frame. So I can assume this A is something like S dash. And now if I will see this light pulse with respect to A, that means we are seeing it with respect to S dash. Then I can give the notation of this light pulse, velocity of light pulse with respect to S dash. I can write this thing as C cos theta naught plus C sin theta naught. Here I can put I cap and here I can put J cap. Are you people comfortable up to this? Can I
Yes,
write
sir.
this thing? Something like I can resolve this particular, because magnitude is always C. The magnitude of light is always C. I can resolve in direction of X and I can resolve in direction of Y. So we can resolve these two things. Okay. This is given quantity. So can I write this whole thing as Ux dash is equal to C cos theta naught and Ui dash is something called C sin theta naught? Are you people comfortable? Because it is given with respect to S dash frame. So I can write Ux dash is C cos theta naught, Ui dash is C sin theta naught. And now, if I want to write the speed of this light pulse or velocity of this light pulse with respect to B, which is actually S frame from my point of view, then I can write V as of light with respect to S is something Uxi plus Uij. Yes, I can write it. And velocity of A with respect to B is actually velocity of A with respect to B is actually velocity of S dash with respect to S. Can I write this thing in a very nice way? So what is this thing? This thing is V in I cap direction. Yes, we can write it. So can I get what is my Ux and what is my Uy? I can easily use the concept of relative speed from the Lorentz transformation. I can get Ux is equal to Ux dash plus V 1 plus Ux dash V upon C square. So I can put this value as, what is Ux dash is nothing but C cos theta naught, C cos theta naught plus V, and this will be 1 plus, and this value is C cos theta naught V upon C square. I can write this value as, I am just writing it here, that value is C cos theta naught plus V, and I can go take C here because this C is cancel out, C plus V cos theta naught into C. Can I write this thing? Yes. And this is my Ux. Now, let's try to calculate what is value of cos theta. So what is this value? Suppose from with respect to B, how this light pulse will appear. With respect to B, this light pulse will appear something like this. This value is theta. And this value is something like Ux. And this value is something like Ui, isn't it? Now, can you please tell me what will be magnitude of Ux square plus Ui square? what will be value of ux square plus uy square? If I want to take this magnitude, what will be value of this? Can anybody tell me? Please, if I want to calculate magnitude of velocity of light with respect to s, this is nothing but ux square plus uy square. Can you please tell me what will be this value? Ajinkya, can you please tell me?
C, sir.
That should be c, isn't it? That should be c, because the speed of light is not going to change. The magnitude is not going to change. You can change the x direction. You can change the y direction. You can change it. Yes, this is my ux. That is not exactly ux dash. This ux dash is going to transform. Similarly, I can transform uy dash. So what will be ui? What will be my ui? You can write ui as ui dash root under 1 minus v square upon c square 1 plus ux dash v upon c square. And what is ui? And I can use this space c sine theta naught, and we have 1 minus what is v square? V is v square upon c square, and we have 1 plus what is ux dash? Ux dash is c cos theta naught and v upon c square, and this can be written as something like c sine theta naught root under 1 minus v square upon c square upon 1 c will be cancelled, that will be c plus v cos theta naught into c. And for the homework purpose, you can just calculate and see what will be happen to ux square and uy square. If you will calculate something like ux square plus uy square root under, then you will always get this value is c. But you can see the x component is not remain same. The y component is not remain same. Both are transformed, but they are transforming such that the speed of light will remain same. The speed of light is remain same. And what will be value of cos theta? What will be value of cos theta for the examination purpose? They have asked what is value of cos
Ui
theta?
by ux.
What will be value of cos theta? What should be cos theta? Can I write the cos theta is nothing but ux upon root under ux square plus uy square? Can I write something like this? लिख सकते क्या? If
Yes,
it
sir.
is appeared from S frame से कैसा दिख रहा है? This is appeared something like this. This angle is theta, and this component is ux, and this is nothing but it will remain c. So you can just use this is nothing but ux upon c, because you can verify. Otherwise, conceptually we know that the speed of light is always remain invariant, and this value is obviously this c will cancel. We have c cos theta naught plus v c plus v cos theta naught, isn't it? And I can get this particular cos theta. This is the best problem ever asked in the special theory of relativity. This is the master one, because some people cannot understand how you can get the cos theta. And this is something called aberration, isn't it? From one frame, you will have some another theta naught. From another frame, you have different theta. And another frame, you have different theta. This is aberration. And we will learn that only this theta is not going to change. Rather, frequency will also going to change of a light pulse from the Doppler effect. So we will learn this thing from the Doppler effect also. Okay, but right now, what is the conclusion? Conclusion is very nice. X component can be changed, Y component can be changed, but the magnitude will remain same either from S frame or from S dash frame, either from S dash frame or from S frame. Magnitude will remain same. The component can be changed. Why this component can be changed? Because you have ux dash is nothing but c cos theta naught, and which is less than c, isn't it? C cos theta naught is less than c. Cos theta is always between something -1 to +1, and in term of magnitude, this will be some fractional value. So if it is fractional value, so it is going to change. Yes? Are you people convinced with my logic? So again, I can say the number is very important. It is nothing to do with the component of speed of light. Sorry, component of velocity in a x direction or component of velocity in a y direction. Okay. Only speed is not going to change. And what is speed? That is magnitude of velocity. The direction can be changed. Yes. But magnitude will always remain same. And yes, it should be in a vacuum. Are you people comfortable up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? Vani, are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Durvi, are you okay with this logic? Good. So let's come to a final problem for today's session, Hannah. So, and then you can go for assignments. You can just do your assignments for the relative speed. And tomorrow we will go for a new topic that will be length contraction. And then we will use all this concept into different nature of physics. But let's go for one more problem. This is very interesting, and it is also given to you in your tutorial sheet. So you can solve your tutorial sheet. There are 2 or 3 problems based on relative velocity, and all are very nice one. Okay. And you can also try to solve the problem from the previous year. You have enough time on a whole day. So try to solve it. If you have any doubt, just message to Satish sir. We will just try to resolve all these doubts. Okay. Now, the most, not it is difficult problem, it is very tricky. What is this problem? This is all about, let's say this is one inertial frame, let's say it is sigma. And what we have 2 particle which is moving with angle theta. And let's say this is moving with velocity u. Let's say this particle is A, something A is moving with u velocity, and this is moving with v velocity. Let's say this is for the B particle. And the angle between them is theta. And both have speed with respect to sigma. And what we have to do, we have to calculate velocity of B with respect to A. We have to calculate velocity of B with respect to A. How we will approach this thing? This is very interesting. And nothing, not any X, not any Y, nothing is given. So actually, we have to just calculate what will be speed of B with respect to A. Okay. How we will approach it? Can anybody give me hint? कैसे approach करेंगे इसे? How we are going to approach it?
सर अगर फ्रेम का एंगल चेंज करके थीटा कर दिया जाए तो मतलब
Okay, great. Don't worry.
ए जो पार्टिकल
Don't worry. This is just a semantic thing. What I can do, I can just make, hence I have to calculate velocity of B with respect to A. That means this is my S frame, obviously, and this is my particle. So what I will do, for the convenience, I can choose this one is my X direction. This one is my X cap. Okay. And if this one is X cap, what I will do, I can resolve this velocity in two directions. One is in along x cap. So what will be this velocity along x cap? V cos theta naught. Sorry, V cos theta. And another is just a perpendicular thing that will be V sine theta. That's it. And now how you will approach this problem? Now let's try to write each and everything. So velocity of, we can write A with respect to sigma. I have to keep this is my x s frame. So this will be my V, and so you will confuse from this to V. So what I will do, I am just taking this one is my u v1 1 such that we cannot confuse with my notation. Okay. So velocity of A with respect to sigma is V, and this is given as what? U1, and in which direction? I cap direction. Okay. And velocity of B with respect to sigma is V1 cos theta in I cap direction plus V1 sin theta in J cap direction. And what we have to do? We have to calculate velocity of B with respect to A. We have to calculate in terms of magnitude. So this is my S frame. This is my particle. So I will just try to resolve the particle part towards my S frame, isn't it? So this is a nice trick you can use always. Okay. If there is nothing called I, J, K and are given. Okay. Then what will be my sigma? What is your sigma? Sigma is your S dash. Sigma is your S dash. Okay. And now we can write this particular thing. So A is my S. And this can be again written equivalent to velocity of sigma with respect to A is given minus U1 in I cap direction. So this will be my S frame. This will be my S dash frame. Sigma is my S dash frame and B is my particle. And now we can use our notation. So velocity of S dash with respect to S is right now nothing but minus U1 in I cap direction. I have deliberately taken U1 and V1 such that we cannot confuse with V. And this is actually your V in general notation. And velocity of particle with respect to S dash, velocity of a particle with respect to S dash is Ux dash, and this is nothing but V1 cos theta, and Ui dash is nothing but V1 sin theta, isn't it? And now look at everything is resolved. Hannah? So from I have chosen my own x-axis, and I will always choose x-axis along the S frame. I will always choose x-axis along the S frame. And now I have all these tools, and what I can do, I can solve it. So Ux is equal to Ux dash plus V 1 plus Ux dash V upon C square. Okay. And now we can write what is Ux dash is nothing but V1 cos theta. What is V is nothing but minus U1. Okay. This is minus U1. And here you have 1 minus V1 cos theta U1 upon C square. This is your Ux. You have Ui part also, isn't it? So Ui is all about Ui dash root under 1 minus V square upon C square 1 plus Ux dash V upon C square. So when we will put all this thing, then we will get what is your Ui dash? Ui dash is V1 sin theta, and 1 minus, what is V? Is nothing but minus U1. So this is U1 square, and the denominator part will be always same. This is my Ui. And you can easily write the velocity part, and then you can take the magnitude. Okay. So this is the thing, you can do it as your convenience. In the homework problem, you can just find what will be velocity of A with respect to B. Then what you will do? You will just choose this as your x-axis, and you can resolve the velocity of A along x and perpendicular to that, and you can easily solve this thing. Isn't it? Are you people comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? So just go and solve your tutorials. Okay, just go and solve your tutorials, and you can have very nice feeling that every question you can solve in this method, every question. And even if you can go and solve your previous year problems from any examination, okay, just try to solve it. Maybe initially you will be little bit slow, but after then you will just maintain your your pace. Okay. So any doubt, Hannah? If you have any doubt, just